Let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. She give me a bit of her love. Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another one, man. It's your boy, Rod One, and this is Sparking Conversation, but this is our special segment we call Convo Corner, and this is when we talk to some of the world's most interesting people that took that extra step, you know what I mean, that took that leap, and they believe in themselves enough to say that, yo, this is who I'm going to be, and this is what I'm going to be. And so often, a lot of people inspire to be like that. The one thing I love about the guests that come on Convo Corner is that no matter what they've gone through, they've all taken a chance on themselves. And not only have they taken a chance on themselves, the people that they're around them, they've made the people around them better. So today, I got a couple of brothers, man, and yo, to be honest with y'all, it's an honor to have them on the platform, to be completely honest, because these brothers are super talented, but very seldom did you see those that look like us really venturing off into other genres of music. I mean, we got a couple of people that did a couple of things in country, but we understand that country's origins, roots of country music still started with us. But then now when we think about jazz, you know, we have some of the greats that we could look up to when it comes down to jazz, but contemporary or modern days, right? You know, there's very few people that you can say to yourself, like, yo, this right here is a whole vibe and it's new. And I can't really, I like to use the word up to date, but I don't even want to make it sound like that because of the way jazz is and the history of jazz. And then some of the great, like Quincy Jones, if we think about Quincy Jones and his background, he was a jazz musician. So whenever you think about all those records that him and Mike did and some of the best joints, well-produced records, is because everything on there was an instrument that was played based on people that came from that lane of jazz. And these two brothers right here, yo, I'm telling y'all, y'all want to hear this information that's coming from these brothers. And I want to make sure that after this conversation, y'all go out there and y'all make sure y'all stream all their music. I want y'all to turn it up because it is a real vibe and these brothers are really fly. But before I bring them up, let me bring up my co-host because, you know, that's how the connection is made. So Gloria, what's up?
What is up, Raw?
Ain't nothing, we here
today.
That's what's up, yo. I'm glad to hear that as always. So look, tell us a little bit about the brothers Arkose, yo.
I don't have the words to say about these brothers. I heard them on IG for the first time and it blew me away. And all I know is that I got to get these guys on the platform. We need them in our lives. And I'm so happy to have them on the platform today so we can, you know, chop it up and see how they got started.
Yeah, that's the most important part because, you know, I'm anxious to find out jazz. Like, what made them say, yo, jazz, we're going to lock in on this and really focus on it. But they dope. The thing is, though, it's not like a cookie cutter. It's not I don't know how to describe it, man. I'm saying that I just want everybody to make sure after this conversation that they go out there and stream these brothers' music because I want them to understand it firsthand. I don't think I can describe it good enough for them to really take in what these brothers really do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up, you know, Tad and Noah, and let's get into their life real quick. Yo, what up, brothers?
What's up, Raw? What's up, Gloria?
Hey.
What's up, man? Thank you so much for being on the platform, y'all. I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, appreciate the opportunity.
Man. Yeah, definitely. So, being that it's both of y'all, if y'all don't mind, just introduce yourself to the audience, man. You know what I'm saying, and tell a little bit about what each other does in the system that y'all rocking right now.
You go first.
Okay. Well, my name is Noah Sills. I do vocals, saxophone, flute, clarinet, and piano for the band Arkose. I was born and raised in Metro Atlanta, born at Northside Hospital. And I feel like that's the gist of it before we get into the full nitty gritty.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, and I'm Tad Adams, mostly guitar for Arkose, but I played some bass, play trumpet also, I've been near a mic for certain performances. But it's not my forte. I tend to stay far away from the microphones. But I was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but been in and around Atlanta since I was 2 or 3.
Wow. Okay. So look, let's talk a little bit, man. Both of you guys play musical instruments, and I know in our community, unless the parents were musicians, right? A lot of us didn't have access to instruments to learn them. You know, like it was like a school thing. Like if you wanted to be in a school band, then you had to rent a instrument that you wanted to play from the school in order for you to have one. It wasn't just laying around like that. So for you brothers to be able to play so many different instruments, how did that take place for y'all? Are your parents musicians, or how did that work for you guys? Either one of y'all go first.
Well, for me, it really started. Well, it's a mix. But my granddad, Teddy Adams, he plays trombone. He's been playing trombone and jazz for 70 plus years now.
Wow.
Based in Savannah, but it's been all over the world at this point. But he was the musical person in my family. Skipped my dad completely. but one thing that my dad always gave me was my dad appreciated all kinds of music, like rock, blues, jazz, anything. But I had access to instruments through my granddad because he always had a piano in the house amongst some other brass instruments. So it started there, just messing around as like a kid, very young child, on a piano in his house or my grandparents' house. And then eventually started playing trumpet in the band at school in 4th grade, which played from 4th to 12th, trumpet the whole time. But I started playing guitar. My dad got me my first electric guitar in 6th grade. And I really took to that. I just wanted to be Hendrix. I wanted to play all the songs that I was listening to. And I never put it down. I stopped doing homework, stopped talking to girls, all kind of stuff. Just guitar all the time. But my parents were very supportive of me taking to instruments, whether it was, trumpet at school or guitar at home. My first trumpet for school was, I didn't even have to rent because my Uncle Sam actually gave me an old trumpet that he had just, in the attic or something that I started playing the 4th and used that for a while. But like I said, the origin for sure, like I said, was through my granddad, the access to instruments, and through my parents' support, and my dad's appreciation for music and being exposed to stuff and starting to play in church. Like I said, definitely helped get me here.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, it was my dad. He was a drummer, or he's picked it back up a couple times, but he was a hobbyist. And my mom played clarinet, which I play on her clarinet today. And both of my parents played college sports. My dad played college football, and mom played volleyball. And that was really the avenue that I really wanted to go, was sports. And I played, my main sport was baseball, but I played everything from basketball, football, golf, tennis. So my parents threw a lot of opportunities towards me and just trying to see what stuck and what gifts God gave me. And when it came to music, it was CDs and the radio. My dad had a full case of burnt CDs, and he had this hip hop CD that had all these records on it, from Rakim to CL Smooth and Pete Rock and Run DMC, all these hip hop records that sampled jazz. And number 9 on the CD was "They Reminisce Over You" by Pete Rock and CL
Smooth.
And I just heard Tom Scott saxophone, and I just was like, man, we got to listen to number 9 again. I just fell in love with saxophone. And I remember by the time I got to late elementary school, early middle school, and it was time to choose an instrument, I remember telling my friends at lunch, I'm going to play a jazz instrument. I didn't even know what jazz was. I just knew, at least saxophone, trumpet, trombone. Like, I'm playing one of these. And wound up choosing saxophone and just fell in love with it. And, I had a full circle moment a couple of years ago when I was at Georgia State. And Tom Scott, the guy that got sampled on the Pete Rock record,
right?
He was the guest artist, and I got a chance to play with him and talk to him and let him know, like, hey, part of the reason why I'm playing this instrument is because of number 9 on Burnt CD, which was They Reminisce Over You. It was his, the Today sample from his first record. And
Yeah.
he thought it was crazy. I told him I knew the other records that he was on, like Steely Dan and Joni Mitchell and stuff, just to even it out. So it doesn't.
Yeah.
Strictly hip hop. But yeah, that was it for me. And then piano was the next obvious choice, and it just it became a ripple effect, or a necessity in some cases for jazz band. They hand you a sheet of paper and it says flute and clarinet. So you go to Facebook Marketplace and find a flute for $50, and then find your mom's old clarinet in the attic, and there you go. So that's what it was for me.
Dope. So, in the sense of that, like, whenever you guys decided to come together, because it's just two of y'all, and it sounds like a full band. So, first of all, how did you two guys meet?
High school. Went to the same Hillgrove High School. Shout out Hillgrove. But met in through band. We were both in band, both in marching band, and found each other through, of course, through music, but also through humor. Just got along. Became close pretty fast.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So they have such a unique sound. It's like nothing you've never heard. I mean, you've heard it, but you haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's such the way they present it is so unique. It's just amazing. You guys are amazing with what the way you do your music and stuff like that. So that's why I said, we got to have them on the platform. We need them in our lives.
Yeah, you guys are dope. Yeah, you guys are dope.
It's funny because I feel like back in high school, it felt that way, at least from my ears to Tad's playing, and including my dad. Like one of the bigger stories that we always tell is my dad was the executive producer of getting the band together before we even knew we wanted to have a band. And we were playing the Chicago tune 25 or 6 to 4, and Tad had a guitar solo. And this is the first time that anybody has heard a guitar solo from Tad, let alone.
I was a bedroom guitarist up until this point. Closeted guitar player.
That's so funny. Yeah, closet guitar player. Yeah.
But don't let the pants fool you.
Right.
But we played that song and he had a solo on it, and my dad was just like, he told me, "Good job, son, great solos, but man, that Tad kid on guitar is the real deal. Like, if you ever have a band one day, that's got to be the guitar player." And that was 2015, 14.
Yeah,
when that was said. So that was that was math 15 years before we even put it together. Or did I do that wrong? 5 years we put it together. Yeah. I'm thinking about today. But yeah, I think that's something that really spoke back then, and I think from there I was always chasing songwriting. I've always fell in love with songwriting versus ripping, and putting the two together, that really became the sound that you hear today.
Yeah. And that's why I said your guys are like seamless, but you guys also, like, you make it sound like a full band is in there too. So I'm sure the recording sessions are very interesting because you guys are going from instrument to instrument. You know what I'm saying? I guess the way that you lay your stuff, I'm not sure, but as many times I've been in the studio with bands, unless everybody's there playing at the same time and mic'd up, a musician is playing each part to a certain part and then sampling it through and then coming back and playing the other parts, right? So for you guys, is that the same process on percussion? Because I noticed that only one of you guys said that you did percussion, but it's not neither one of you guys' main thing. So when it comes down to the percussion pieces, is that what y'all doing? Is y'all laying that, or how does that go? Y'all bringing in somebody live, or what is that going on with the percussion part?
It's ever changing. When we first started out, we were working out of FL Studio as our main DAW, and FL is the best DAW when it comes to making drums. I've worked out of all of them. FL still has the winning formula, and So a lot of the songs like Stars Align, even our last single Blow Me Away, and honestly a lot of songs from Ecliptic and the first beat tape was all programmed drums with FL Studio and just plugging in sounds. It gives you four 16th notes and you're just filling in the blanks. And we just experimented all the time and tweaked all the sounds to try our best to get to a drum sound. And drummers are going to get on us and say like these are obviously
Yeah.
real drums, but at the same time most people are not. Our philosophy going in to making records was through the pandemic, so we weren't going to studio sessions and doing all that quite yet. So what we would do is use it as our template, our guide of like, okay, we need drums, we want this sound, let's go for it. And it's kind of a telltale sign of 10 years, 20 years from now,
Yeah.
hopefully people are aware of it and they look at the drums and say, oh, this was due to limitation and we created our own vibe with it. And then sometimes we sample, like obviously Pretty Girl and Nothing to Do With Me, that's Headhunters. And I'm trying to think of, and then some songs we will bring in a drummer along over the actual drum machine stuff. So it gives it a little bit more life and a little more nuance.
Yeah. That's dope, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, yo, when it come down to that particular portion, I always noticed that, well, unless like Ryan Leslie, like I watched him make beats a lot. I remember at one point when he was going through his marketing and promoting for his songs, he was in the studio showing how he create, because he played every instrument on his record, like every single one, right? But in that, I noticed that when it came down to his percussions, that he will play it, but then every now and then you would see that somebody else will come in. So I was always wondering about that part. Like, yo, when it come down to it, because then you got a person like Anderson Sachs who has everybody else come around him while he builds over the drums, right? So I just know how important percussions is. But in jazz, it's like a rhythm though, right? It's not so much where it's that 808 sound or that, any of that extra stuff. It's more like the rhythm. So you guys have perfected that. With however y'all did it, y'all perfected that. How often do people ask y'all to play for them? Do y'all get that a lot?
Like an artist?
Yeah, like another artist coming to y'all saying, yo, would y'all play with us or come over here or try to recruit y'all at all?
Yeah, it's not like the it comes at different levels. Like I said, there's artists that come to us. Like for example, we did a little bit of time playing as the live band for Kennedy Ryan, and we did several cities with her. And like we played individually for like Jalen Josie, some other people, but there are a lot of other people who come, like via DMs or something like that, who may not have a following, or somebody who just started making music or maybe makes music sometimes. So that's a different thing. But like I said, we've gotten a fair share of opportunities, but it's not super often. At this point, actually, this year, it's been a lot more often, at least once a week or once every 2 weeks, that somebody is wanting to do some kind of collaboration, maybe not even like in a live performance context, but maybe in just a recording,
Yeah.
So than performing live. But we've gotten a fair share of offers or opportunities that's given to us.
I would think that you guys would get a lot of opportunities once everyone hears your music and stuff like that. And I can see you guys going international. I mean, with your music, because it fits all categories of people. Everyone can listen to it. It's not just for one certain class of people or whatever, but everyone can listen to your music and everyone would appreciate it, the sound and the way you guys do it. Do you guys see yourself going international one day?
Yeah, we've been reached out by a couple people. There's a producer from New Zealand that lives in LA now. He's reached out to us. Vasi, who did a lot of EDM vocal stuff. She's from Australia. She lives in LA now as well. But we've worked with a lot of people and played live with a lot of people. I think the names are getting more recognizable nowadays, which is exciting for us. But at the same time, it's just another day in the office for us. I noticed a cliche in sports where people are in the playoffs and they're saying it's just another game. Obviously, it means more.
Right.
But it's we our mentality every time is if we're working in a studio with I'll name drop Music Soul Child. Like our our mindset isn't, oh man, it's Music Soul Child, let me lock in. The mindset is, okay, we got a session. How do we lift this music that's already great? And we try to do that across the board. And we're a little bit more picky nowadays because we're just getting busy,
Right.
just due to new opportunities. But yeah, I think we're always going to be open to collaborating and working with different people, whether that's down the street or across the country or across the world.
Yeah, that's dope because yeah, I could see that for you guys, man. I could even see people coming to get y'all to score movies, right? Um I see that, right? Because I see, it's so many different layers. Like when I listen to certain records of y'all's, I thought of that. I was like, okay, so maybe this song would be good in this movie or in this scene, or this would be that, like and so I don't know. At some point, I feel like you brothers are going to, what I'm saying, really get into, especially with sync licenses and with your stuff, and that's going to really take y'all across, right? Because I had a guy on here, thanks to Gloria, and maybe she might connect you guys and just have a conversation. But Victor Orlando, have y'all heard of him?
Mm-mm.
The percussionist from the Gap Band, and well,
Oh, fire.
to say where he's played at is an understatement because he's played percussion. I mean, and the Congo, he started off on the drum, but he fell in love with the Congos and just changed his whole scenario. And he's been playing. I'm talking about everybody. Like, it's not a person, Beyonce to even Jay-Z. Like, he played with rappers,
Yeah.
right? And so, but his love for the music, and he does a lot of things in jazz, even over like in LA. Like I seen recently, he had a show where they came together and they put together certain tributes to different jazz singers and different things like that. Well, I only say that to say because he's also been in movies based on his music.
Yeah,
So I see the same. Go ahead, Gloria. Go ahead, tell him what you gonna say.
he's done it all. He's been around, a lot of places and stuff like that. But he's a lot older than you guys. But it isn't too many people that he doesn't know, and it's not too many people that he hasn't played for. So he's extremely talented now to play in the Congo, and he also plays other instruments too. Rob.
Yeah, and I think that would be great because in the sense of just making that connection of, because I'm sure with you guys playing live, that's when people really get the real feel of y'all. I mean,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think the records is dope. So don't get me wrong. I think people need to hear your music for sure. But I think, and I haven't seen y'all live, I'm just saying based on what I've heard, I think that live is where people really get to be like, oh, yo, these dudes is crazy, right? So that's where I'm getting like, where the whole energy could come in at too, right? So let's talk a little bit about your live performance real quick. When it comes down to creating the records, do y'all see the live performance? Like, because I do. Like, when you create the record, I can see, like, I visualize the performance, whether it be a video, I don't know what it be, but I visualize it. How about y'all? When it comes down to your live performances based on records, because I know when you pick your set list and all these other things, do y'all visualize the performance?
I feel like that's not always the first. I feel like we're more focused on the track itself. And then when we present it, because most of the writing and recording for a lot of the tracks that we have are, me and Noah. But then, when we're preparing for shows, it's like, okay, we have 4 other guys. Shout out Dustin Williams. Shout out Dylan Porter. Shout out Steve. Shout out Antonio DJ Vision. But we present the song to them, and then we transform it into, the live version of that track. But we don't necessarily go into, recording a track or writing a song with the live performance in mind, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
But it's always fun to experiment because even like the guys will bring different elements to each track. Like sometimes it'll transform. Like somebody will play something, have an idea. DJ Vision might scratch something into a song, and then we create a live version of it. It's completely separated from, the track that you can stream. Another place. So yeah, to your point, the live show usually, turns every track up a notch because we're able to play with it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's why I think because being able that you guys play the instruments live, you can always just take it there in the live version. I feel like when it comes to like R&B records or records where there's mostly singing, people are looking for you to hit certain notes or certain runs. Whenever you're a certain singer, they looking for it. But then when you guys play a record that they're familiar with, but you take it up a notch, it's like, it's a whole different energy and electricity. I like when it comes down to that, because I like their recorded versions, and then when he does a live version, it's crazy. Lucky Day. I like whenever he does his live versions of his songs, right? Because he let the band go crazy.
Yeah.
Right. He'll have like the end of the song will be like, I would say like at least 12 bars of just musical changes.
Yeah.
But then I realized one thing too. I said, the only difference is I saw an interview with R. Kelly one time, and he was saying why he sings all the way to the end of the record. He said, because when it comes down to record companies, they only like to pay you based on words that's said. So you can have a song that's a certain amount of length, but you don't get paid for the whole song. So R. Kelly said, I got something for that. I sing all the way to the song go off, right? And so I noticed with Lucky Day on his performance or his stream, or like you said, the stream track, he sing all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And then his live version is just like, boom, all instruments to the end. So that's why I love when people like pay homage to you musicians like that, for real.
And we pay homage to songwriters before us as well in our set. Like there's been a couple times where it's been on the spot, where we're jamming and one of the guys says, "What if we did this?" We have moments like that, and then there's moments where, me or Ted are at home, and we're just doodling and just listening to records, and all of a sudden you get an idea. Like now we play Pretty Girl, we play Gypsy Woman over top of the melody, and then because I don't know if this I'm in a practice room right now. I'm in a practice room right now.
Y'all play Gypsy Woman over?
Can you hear that piano?
Yeah.
So like.
Play something.
Pretty girl be like, pretty girl, so damn beautiful. Let me buy you a drink. Let me hold that thing. And then you go to Gypsy Woman. Pretty girl, so damn beautiful. Let me buy you a drink. Let me hold that thing. Pretty girl, so damn beautiful. Let me buy you a drink. You know what I mean? So it's like, the melody.
Usually people are dancing at that point.
Yeah. So like, it's one thing to play, like for us, like, I wouldn't say we're diagnosed ADHD or anything like that, but like we definitely approach. I might, but we definitely approach some of these songs like, okay, everybody knows Pretty Girl. We know, like, we don't have Jasmine or Joy Leone with us all the time. So how do we make this interesting and not step on her toes? Try to do the verse. Like, I'm not going to sing her part. And that's our way of remixing it. The latest one we've done is Nothing to Do with Me. It's like, I'm in love, all the things I do. So we do that, and then we go into
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that's what keeps it interesting for the audience and also for us, because we get to take care of a couple birds by making it interesting, but also paying homage to the influences that we had growing
Facts. And you guys are also attacking the senses too because of the person, the nostalgia, right? Because that's where a lot of people they miss that part in performance is creating nostalgia. Because with y'all doing that and then mixing in the Michael Jackson record, it automatically takes them to that song automatically. And just whatever they feel from that song, although they're getting something new from y'all that they're feeding. It's like food, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like people who make spaghetti, but they bake it, you know what I'm saying, with cheese on top. It's different. You know what I'm saying? You know? So, yeah, that's fly. That's why I'm saying I know y'all live performance is where people really get that whole what y'all really about and how y'all make that shit shake. Because I'm telling you, man, it's something about being able to have that type of artistic just prowess to know, yo, this song right here will mix someone like a DJ. Like y'all like a musician DJs and shit, yo.
That's from years of playing wedding gigs and also having Antonio DJ Vision as our DJ. He's
one of the best in the world.
He's one of the best, but he's also one of the best historian, crate digging guys that like he's just like he'll bring up like, yo, I just got this import from Japan. It's this one of 50, MC Hammer records that no one talks about, but he has or knows about it. Like he's like
that guy.
He's that guy. Like I always tell my like DJ friends, like they're like, who are you listening to as a DJ? I'm like, you gotta hear this guy. I think he's top 5 in the city.
That's so dope.
What are you guys' next show in Atlanta? I might have to just ride down just to, I mean, it'd be worth the drive just to hear
for real.
You know?
Yeah, for real.
We have I know we have Douglasville in June 6th.
Yeah.
June 6th.
Yeah, we're opening up for Gregory Porter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, it's dope. All right, and so June, so then because I'm definitely gonna check y'all out, man. I'm gonna have to get we out in North Carolina, so I do a lot of different events, but I know one of them it's a couple of people I know that live bands, you know what I'm saying? Because for the longest time, that's what I did for the longest until I transitioned over to films and stuff. I did all kinds of stuff in music, bro. Most of the time when people look me up, that's what they find first. But I have a lot of band members or people who play live. Like they do like what y'all was saying, go to like playing weddings, and of course they do cover music for a lot of the bars and restaurants here because it's heavy here for musicians. They could get a lot of work here because of that. Right, but that's the thing. Their original music suffers because of that. That's the only difference. Outside of them being able to be creative like you guys, right? But then at the same time, that's what people are getting booked to do cover songs, which is, I guess it's a catch-22 because it keeps musicians working, right? Because musicians need to get paid, right? I feel like your gift is in what you do, not so much in just the fact that some people coming, because a DJ could do that, right? Like. A DJ could play the old records. You don't have to have nobody come and sing and set up all the equipment, and you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Just for you to just say, I remember that song. Like, no. You come to give you a different experience, and I think that's the difference with a lot of people I work with. Like, although they do covers, they give people an experience, different renditions, remixes of it. You guys fit right in the lane of that. So we're going to try to work on some things, man. See if we can't help get y'all some more. Not that y'all already got it. I'm just saying if y'all wanted to move around a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That ain't too far from y'all.
Like come to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Huh?
We in Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? It's like a 5.5, like 5.5 hour, something like that. And then even in Charlotte, like we got access to a lot of stuff in Charlotte too, which is a lot closer for y'all. So either way it go, we can make it shake. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing. But I do want to know, as far as your recording process goes, how often are you guys in the studio recording new material?
Oh man,
depends on how you define studio.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so let's scratch the studio because you're in the practice room right now. So, but how often are y'all recording then? I mean, let's just put it that way. If it ain't that's true, how often are y'all creating new music that you're recording?
Ooh, that's tricky because we recycled so much music over the last 4 years that we're like all the songs that are coming out now from this year, they're all like from 2020 2019 time period. and we were going back to them, revamping them, and then we're putting them out now. But
gotcha.
The beats, we're always like 6 months to 2 years ahead. So so the music that you get, that's pretty much assumed that 6 months or 2 years prior to that we worked on it.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where we're at, where we actually have too much music, you know, like in our chamber, so to speak, and we're trying to enjoy revisiting these songs. And we wrote these when we were 23, 24, 25, and we're trying to relate to that time period in our lives, which is, it's not too far away, but a couple of years can definitely change some perspective. But
facts, especially coming out of COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're trying to enjoy it, but also we're trying to get through these songs so we can actually be in the studio, go through the process of making the song, and then 6 to 12 months later the song is out. We haven't experienced that feeling of like a label or our internal label saying, hey, it's time to make a new record, and we make a new record and it's out, and then we tour like the old school 70s style. So yeah, that's but as far as often for us in the studio, I think we're always creating, whether that's into a DAW or just a voice memo, just playing piano or coming up with ideas. We're always doing that. But I think we go through surges. We're super seasonal, and we have moments where we don't do that. We just focus on marketing and putting out content, in the seasons where we're living in the studio and we're just in there for like a week and a half, and just like we're just on, and then all of a sudden we have 20 new songs to kind of go through.
Yeah, and it's definitely a mix of like, at home, hotel room. We have friends who scratch our back sometimes with studio time, so there is actual studio time that happens. But like I said, it's definitely a mix of where and how we record and how we put tracks together, because I might Noah might have an idea, and then we need to add guitar, bass, so I'll do it separately and then mix it on the original computer wherever it was created. So different methods for sure.
We even mixed songs before, like Galaxy. That was 2 separate songs. I had an idea, and then Tad sent over an idea, and I was like, "Your idea sounds like a pre-chorus," and then that's where we put the 2 together, and then we I think that was all remote, actually. I don't even think we even pretty much maybe 1 or 2
I think
things.
we had one. I think maybe one day in the Orange Room.
Yeah. But majority of it was, like we're sending each other MP3s and we're blending them together, and here's ideas like that.
Nah, that's cool, man. But y'all got a lot in the chamber, so that was the main thing, is like because that's what I noticed about how you get to that. Because some people be chasing a hit or chasing that song and they think it's going to make them that thing, versus just staying active and trying to believe in all the records you like. Have a meaning behind all the songs that you do, right? Yeah. Not just chase a single or chase a hit, so to speak. But I like that, man, because creativity to me comes at all times of the day. Like there's no particular punch, no clock. Like I say, all right, in the daytime I'm this, and at night I'm that. Is that the same thing for you guys? Like, is it a 24-hour thing for you guys? Because I'm just gonna ask y'all, because that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to see if anybody's like me, because I've been almost considered Rain Man kinda, because of when inspiration hits, it will be at a time where people feel like they should be asleep, right? Or I may send a message out to somebody about something, and they be like, "Yo, what? I was asleep. Why? And I'm like, my bad. I this is just when it hit me." So how is it for you guys? Is it the same way?
Yeah, I can definitely relate. I definitely relate to that, because just like 2 examples, there's been like a time sitting in traffic on 75 and just chilling, and then all of a sudden melody. I'm like, oh, I got a voice on that. or because unfortunately sometimes I'll just be up at 3 4 a.m. like go to sleep at a decent time, wake up at 3 or 4. I'm on, and literally one night I was on the floor playing with my dog, and then once again what I thought was a melody turned out to be a bass line, but I'm just run to Logic and start recording, and then it's 5 6 a.m. sun's starting to come up, and I have an idea recorded, and then I'll send it to Noah the next day. So definitely it's just a spark of the moment, and like for me, especially like the second one, unreleased song. But I had to hum the bass bass line until I got the DAW open, because I was like, I will lose it. Because I will lose it if I stop singing or record it. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best stuff is always at night. There's something about knowing that everybody's asleep and no one's looking. You just get the best stuff to come out. You feel no other emotion other than excitement and just chasing the musical rabbit, so to speak. And but I feel like some beats have been made at night, especially early on. Like my mom and my neighbor across the street definitely started making me look at the clock a little bit more at night. But the but
Go to sleep.
Right. Exactly. They just hear kicks.
Yeah, exactly.
But moving and living in an apartment where we have, a couple of Eastern European people in their 70s that are very communicative.
Yeah.
And, with the broomstick that is. But
Shout out nosy neighbors.
yeah. All my other neighbors like it, but the ones below us, they have a policy that I may or may not apply to or listen to. But that kind of forced me to make music during the day for some records.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just the situations that you're in that kind of create that limitation, inspiration spark. I feel like even like one of my students today, I was telling them, the KISS rule: keep it simple, silly. Sometimes it's just the simplest ideas can wind up being some of the most beautiful stuff that you write, because you're not even really trying to chase something. You're just being in the moment, being present, and just like going off of, we're talking about solos, just going off of the snare. Let the snare be your inspiration, and let the rhythm section throw ideas at you instead of forcing the moment, and just like let the whole thing breathe. And sometimes that simplicity of like how you carry yourself throughout the day. Sometimes I don't have headphones on, especially when I was in school. I would take my headphones on and hear downtown Atlanta, and just start getting inspired by the natural essence of life.
Yeah.
And that's you can't, that's a conversation with God. That's something that sometimes you can ask for it and it's received, and sometimes he says wait on it. I got
facts.
for you. So,
Exactly.
Some beautiful moments.
Facts. And I'm gonna tell y'all the reason why I asked that question. The main reason why is because I think there's no one that's born that don't have greatness in them, right? I just think they haven't found their purpose. Very few people listen to that spark that you guys listen to, or that I listen to, or even Gloria for that matter. That spark that will tell you, like you said, I got an idea, I'm in the car, I'm in traffic, let me hum it. Most people like, I remember it.
No.
Or yeah, but you get my point, right? But that's how a lot of people get stuck into whatever life throws at them, is because that gift that God gave us, right? That gift that was given to us, it was something that he allowed, that whatever you go through, he was saying that this can help you get through.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get to understand that part because their gift, they haven't been allowed to express themselves because of the people before them. Earlier, you two guys said something that was very important that a lot of people don't experience, is support from their parents. Most people, they get direction from their parents, not so much based on what they want to do, but what their parents want them to do. So many people grow up without their own identity. They grow up with their parents mom want them to be this, dad want them to be that, whoever, whatever. They go to school, the teachers tell them you gotta be this or whatever. But there's very few times that a person gets to say, like somebody see what's great in them and say, yo, I'm gonna do that. Because when I talked about this before, and I said the only difference with Michael Jackson is that, yeah, his dad was harsh, but what his dad saw in him is what the world got to experience. Had his dad not done that, then it wouldn't have been no Michael Jackson, because there was 10 of them. It was 10 of them. Like, think about it. If Joe was out in the street, yo, none of them was gonna make it to no record deal. I don't care what they say, because the average person growing up in the inner city with a parent that got multiple children, you don't have that luxury of somebody saying, hey, here go some instruments. Hey, go, listen, you can have an instrument, but you gonna have a monitor? Oh, okay. So for example, you got an electric bass or electric guitar. Where you gonna get the monitor from? I've seen so many people just have a guitar. That's it. They don't even, it's not an acoustic, but that's what I'm talking about. You have like peanut butter and no jelly.
Yeah.
But you guys had your parents believe, they allowed you guys to blossom into what you, and then honed in on that, and allow God's gift to reign in y'all versus what they said they want you to be because of what society says we got. A lot of people don't have that. So for that, doesn't mean that they don't get the same spark, right? They get the same thought. They still get the same thing that we all get, but they won't hum it into their phone, right? They won't do okay, my neighbor be tripping at night, let me just go and do it over here. They won't, none of that. They just let it completely go. Their neighbor complained one time. It's like, all right, forget it. No, I'm gonna go get some headphones. If I play drums, I'm gonna go get the electric drums so they can't hear me. Whatever it is, but then that's my point. They won't allow that. So I'm glad you guys said that.
I have a good example of that with the neighbors, of like resilience past the BS.
You know what you're gonna say.
Well, I wasn't going to bring up Stomping Back, but for Natural Essence, for that beat, the flute was recorded in my Toyota Corolla because it was 3 a.m. I finished the beat and I'm like, I literally have to record this flute part because I just learned it. I know how it's supposed to go, but it's 3 a.m. and I already know first 3 notes I'm going to get the broom. And so I brought my entire situation, my laptop, interface, microphone, flute, sat in the back of the car, pushed the front seat up, had the mic there. I have it recorded. Like I recorded me doing it somewhere. It's somewhere on our Instagram. I'll, I guess, repost it at some point. But I had to do it like that. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, if I do this tomorrow, it's not going to be the same. Because there's an energy here that has to be used right now versus 12 p.m. the next day where I'm like seeing a bunch of emails. Now my mood has just changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's little things.
Nice. And that's why I say inspiration is something that I think nobody should take for granted, right? Because there's not a lot of people that's going to come to you and pour into you and say, you're doing great. Man, that's amazing. Keep going. They're not going to say that. Most people are going to just see what you're doing and just, sit in the background or whatever. But very seldom are you going to get that pat on the back. But you still have to go as if you got a whole cheerleading squad behind you saying, yo, go. You're going to make it. You're going to get it. Go in the car at 3 o'clock in the morning. Most people, you know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing that lets a lot of people know it's okay to be yourself. And I think that's what it is, because that's you. Yeah. Where another person will look at you and say, man, you crazy, yo. You outside at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd have been asleep. But that's not me. That's you. Like, I'm being me. Do you know how hard it is for people to be themselves right now?
Yeah. But it's dedication. It's that dedication and determination is what makes you great, because you're determined to make it work.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And not afraid to be okay with, all right, everybody might not like it, but I love it. That's everybody might not like it, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That mentality. Word. So before we go, I want to make sure that you guys, what's coming down the pike for y'all? What's like in right now? I know y'all said y'all had a show coming up in June, but if there's anything that you want the audience to take away from, man, what would that be as far as what you guys got coming up?
I think we already mentioned the June 6th show opening up for Gregory Porter. We have some shows coming up in July. Like I said, if you guys follow us on Instagram, Arkose Official, on everything. And then Arkose streaming on pretty much every platform that you think of. We'll be posting updates, but definitely the goal this year is, getting out of Atlanta. We have some things lined up or getting lined up in other states, other cities right now. So, like I said, if you give us a follow and stay tuned, we'll be getting updates on that. Might be coming to a city near you towards the second half of this year. So,
facts.
Yeah, and also new music on the way.
new to everybody else. How about that?
Yeah, new to everybody. Yeah.
New to everybody else. So y'all like,
man. Yeah, taking stuff out of the ball.
New to everybody else.
But yeah, excited for a lot of some releases this year. Like I said, I don't want to give everything away. But yeah, we got some stuff for people to look forward to.
Dope. Yeah, that's what the follows for. But Arkose, the name. Tell everybody about that. Well, real quick, because I think that's an interesting name. Where did you guys come up with that name?
It was a street sign when I was driving to Georgia State every day. I was commuting my last year at Georgia State right before the pandemic, and off of a street that we grew up near is a street called Macklin Road, and it turns into Windy Hill. I don't know why it does that, but it does. But it merges onto a new thing. And part of Windy Hill, or the transition between Macklin and Windy Hill, there's a couple roads that are happening, and one of them is called Arkose Drive. And when I was making demos back in 2018, I would name, they're all instrumental, so I would name tracks after things I saw that day, just so I didn't say track number 4, or whatever, come up with I started running out of names for songs.
Yeah.
And I saw it, and then we went to the studio. This is 2019, and we were working on the For the Love EP. And I mean, some of that stuff was just like one takes. Like we were just going in and out. Like our buddy worked at this school called Atlanta Institute of Music, known as AIM. And he had like 30-minute windows of recording time. And I would just go in and try my best. This is my first time singing and all this stuff. I'm rambling. But we were sitting in the studio, and I was like, I don't want to go by like a government name or anything like that. Like I wanted something cool. And he was like, well, what about Arkose? I always loved the name of that demo. And I was like, all right, that works. And that was it. But yeah, it came from the street.
The most exciting story.
But to top it all off,
that's funny.
The simplicity of it happening was very comical. But I feel like once we actually did our homework and actually studied what the name meant, there's two sides to it. So the actual meaning is it's a cemetery rock, which is a rock of rocks coming together, forming into a rock. And the way we think of it is like we're different styles of music going into one thing, one unit, which is Arkose, or the band. And then the other half of it is it's right down the street from where we grew up and went to school where we met. So it's also, if we were, to zoom out 30, 40 years from now, hopefully people can drive by it and say,
that's
getting close to ground zero here. So
facts. Y'all gonna have to do a video, a photo shoot, or something on that block. Y'all gonna have to do something now.
We did one. We did Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. Yo, that's fly, man. So look, for all y'all that's watching, man, and all of y'all that's gonna watch the playback, man, yo, we appreciate y'all. We want y'all to make sure y'all go to these brothers' page, go on their page on Instagram, follow them, and just keep up with everything they going on, and then stream their music. So I want y'all to go to YouTube, type in Arkose. I want y'all to stream their music, man. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. These brothers are super dope, and now the way that they told y'all how they put some things together, you will not be able to tell. Like you would think that they was in the studio, in the sessions, doing all of these things. That's how professional they made it sound. And And not only that, man, you know, I just want all of y'all out there to understand that it's okay to be yourself. We talk about this a lot on the platform. And then when you have people that come on and they tell y'all, like, listen, I'm okay with being me. I think that's the most important takeaway that we have to take away from any of the guests that come on Combo Corner is that, yeah, to a lot of people, they're considered celebrity, but to them, they're considered free because they're allowed to be themselves, right? They're not fighting to be another thing or an image that a person wants them to be or portrayed to be. They're not in the streets. They're not out here looking like a certain way just because they are a certain way, you know? And I think that's what I think everybody should take away. So for those of y'all watching, make sure Tad and Noah get that follow, Arkose on Instagram. Follow them. Keep up with what they got going on. If you're in the Atlanta area, you see a show go up, pop up, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I haven't seen a live show. I just know it's gonna be dope. Because the brother in the practice room, and he gave us an acoustic of a sample of a. So if that is like that, y'all already know what's gonna happen when he get live, yo. So y'all gotta go check these brothers out. So before we go, anything that y'all want to say to the people, man? Anything at all? It's open to y'all, man. Inspiration, words of encouragement, anything.
There was one thing that you mentioned earlier that I did want to touch on as far as not trying to chase a hit, just for people who are making music and putting out music.
Gotcha.
One thing that Noah and I have realized over the years and that we constantly come back to, even when we have a song and we might be like, oh, you know, this might be the next, you know, this could be the next Pretty Girl song because Pretty Girl's been our most successful song. We can never call what people are actually going to enjoy. Like Noah said earlier, you make music that you appreciate, make music that you love, make music that is fun to make, and then put it out. And then people will take it and do whatever. But it's definitely not, do not focus on making hits or sticking with trends. Trends change like the weather, especially these days. But focus on just making music that sounds good to you and giving it to people. That's my best.
I want to say one thing to everybody. These guys are not talented. They are gifted. And it's a difference between being talented and being gifted. And you're going to miss out on a lot. You don't follow these brothers right here. I'm telling you now, you're missing something because they are awesome. So make sure you follow them.
Facts.
Thank you, Glory.
Yeah, Noah, you got anything you want to say to the people before we go?
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing, you know, the biggest thing that I thought about was when you said essentially encouraging, you know, kids to be themselves and everything. I'm a teacher by day, and there's been moments where there's some students you can tell like, hey, like let's just learn hot cross buns and call it a day. But there's also some days where I'm just being honest. Like some kids are just, you can tell that.
Yeah.
But the ones that do have it and have that itch and have that gift that we're talking about, the first thing I do is tell the kid, you got something. And then I tell the parents and I say, I don't know what your aspirations are for your kid. This could be in the conversation because they have it. They have the thing that I found along the way, and I think it would be really exciting and important to water this plant and see how far it grows. And that's just a huge thing. I mean, I didn't realize my situation growing up was very unique compared to some of my friends here, where they really had to figure out by themselves. And for Tad and I, our parents really just leaned into that. If you want to do it, let's do it. And it wasn't, if you want to do it, let's try it. It was, if you're going to do it, you better be badass at it. Like you better like really lean into this. And it wasn't like this like threat or anything. It was just, you know, this is how we're going to carry ourselves if we're going to do something. And having that insight with my parents, you know, the older I get, the more it just really resonates with me. And
yes.
I think the biggest thing, going back to the singles and all that stuff, we not only do we not know what's going to work all the time, we also know that if we're excited, there's a really great chance that someone else is going to get excited.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we have to tell ourselves with, you know, a lot of this older music that we're putting out is like at one point it's still exciting, but at one point it was really exciting. and it was like, man, I can't believe I made this. And now that now that people are starting to hear these songs years later, and it still resonates, it's really exciting. I think that's the excitement, is knowing that these songs have a life. And there's some songs that you made 5 years ago, and it was so dated to that time period. If you put it out today, everybody's like, man, this is 2013. I don't want to hear this.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are saying like, man, like, this is like one of the better songs of the year, da da da, it's like, whoa, we made this in 2019.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
Hey.
So it's a major blessing. And we're super grateful for the fact that, things have been going really well, especially this year and the years prior. And it definitely feels like we've found, we continue to find ourselves within this project. And it's really exciting and really thrilling. I feel like we're chasing a different beast than chasing singles. I think we're just chasing the feeling of being a kid again and just being excited over a chord.
Facts. Yeah, man. That's very important, both of y'all brothers said, man. And I hope everybody that's watching and will watch the playback, that they really take away that one thing, man, that, outside of whoever your motivation may come from, it's okay to be yourself. And if you love what you do, it's okay, right? Yeah, we know that our gifts and talents can, at some point monetize for us, but it's got to be more than that to it.
Yes.
Right? In order for you to really love what you do, because once it becomes a part of the business, it'll make you fall out of love whenever it comes to that. So if you can really just be okay with being yourself, then you'll be okay with the way things come to you. You won't chase it. You'll let it come. You'll attract it. You won't chase it, right? You won't chase record deals. You won't chase record deals. You won't chase celebrity. You won't chase these people. You will do what you do. They'll come to you, and you'll be a partner and not a worker, right? Because that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
So many bad contracts out here from people who got the most amazing talent.
Yeah.
Right. So thank y'all, brothers, so much. Glory, you already know the vibes. Thank you. We're gonna be in contact. Everybody else that's watching, make sure y'all follow these brothers. The name of the band is under their names, Arkose, so you can spell it correctly. And then make sure y'all tap in with us, man. Combo Corner, we'll be back, right? And we got another guest that we know that y'all guys are gonna get the most out of. So until then, y'all know the vibes. Stay fly out there, and if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So until next time, peace.